the confirmation verses for our confirmands this year. In the past years, I've let my confirmation classes pick their own verses, but this year I decided that I wanted to pick verses for them. Verses that I thought would be appropriate for now, and verses that hopefully will guide them in the future. For Lauren, I chose Psalm 119, verse 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path, in reference to some fun that we had with shoes early in the year that just never seemed to go away. It would always come back up every 3 or 4 weeks. Someone would make a comment. So, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light to my path, as memories of this class and for the future. For Tyler, from Matthew 28:20, and remember, I am with you always to the end of the age. It is a good verse for all of us to remember, that no matter where we go, no matter where we are, that God is there with us. For Jade, do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. There is nothing quite like being known by God, being called by God by name, to remind you of God's expansive love. And for Noah, in everything you do, put God first, and He will direct you and crown your efforts with success. That's from Proverbs 3, number 6. We can sometimes get distracted in our lives, especially with everything that we have at our fingertips. It is easy to get distracted, to forget why we are here. But when we put God first, God will direct us and crown our efforts with success. Success today in school and success later on in life. I hope that these verses will bring guidance and light to you in the future. Now, I promised a few words. You are not graduating today. This is the completion of confirmation. You have now a good, strong faith for who you are now. Next year, here and you see other confirmands in your place, the faith that you had today won't be quite as good for you, because you will have grown, you will have changed, you will have had more experiences, and your faith is going to be different. You need to grow with that faith, because the situations you encounter today aren't the ones you're going to encounter when you go off to college, when you get a job, married, have kids, career, grandkids, if you are so blessed. Your faith is good for a teenager. Your faith is much different than mine. I've had many more experiences. I've had time to think about the faith. And you will make your faith your own. And Jade's, yours is not going to be like Tyler's. And Lauren, yours will not be like Noah's. They're going to be different understandings. And that's one of the reasons why I chose this reading from Acts today. Saul had it all figured out. He was very comfortable with his life. He knew his purpose in life. His purpose in life was to disturb the people that were on the way. That's what it was called when you were a follower of Jesus in Saul's time. You were on the way. And the way is wonderfully expressed through that greatest commandment of loving God with all your heart and your soul and your mind and your strength, and loving your neighbor as yourself. For the faith is not about condemning other people. It is not about finding fault with others. It is about loving God and loving your neighbors and loving yourself. Loving total strangers, helping them when they are in need. It is not about telling someone that if they do not believe exactly as you believe, they are going to hell. That is not the way. The way that was expressed in the New Testament times was caring. Gathering together in worship. Sharing a meal together, which we will do in a little bit. It was about caring for the widows and the orphans, the elderly, caring for those people who could not adequately care for themselves. That's the way. Speaking up for people that cannot speak for themselves. Calling attention to a wrong when everyone else would preferably just let it go. Keeping things the same. Not upending the cart. Yet Saul was knocked off his horse and eventually given a new name. And then accepting it and living it and going along with the people that he had persecuted. He became part of the way. Always move forward with your faith. Always move forward in loving other people. Always move forward, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask God, am I understanding this right? Or is this not, am I making a mistake here in my questions and my answers? God is not so small that God will get angry with you for questions. It is the way to grow. Asking questions is a wonderful way to grow in faith, in maturity, in knowledge, in love. I have thoroughly enjoyed each one of you this year. Your company, your questions, your joys and concerns, the things that we laughed about, the things that brought us together and made us a community. I'm debating whether I should say some of those things, and I will not, because they were our things to laugh at. They were our experiences, and no one else will understand that completely. I have loved each one of you. Whether you were having a good day or a bad day, whether you are going, oh, that Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and those of you who went, wait a minute, I still have some questions. It is where you are on your journey. And I treasured each Wednesday night with you. Amen.